So this is my 1970 Johnson Skeehorse, and in fact, this is my favorite vintage. It's on my logo, and it's actually the sled that I would say re-sparked my vintage collecting and vintage desire for these old machines. So you're probably thinking, Wyatt, what are we doing today? Are we gonna get her running? Are we gonna restore it? No. This runs really good, and I'll pull her into the shop so we're out of the wind here, and I'll let you hear her run. And you'll probably hear right away, and you probably saw the thumbnail, what exactly we're doing to this particular sled. I got her on the dolly because she is heavy. Probably one of the heaviest vintages I have. So, 1970 Johnson, this is the wide track, pretty much like the top of the line model. I'll show you here. Has reverse, compression release for easy starting. The lights. This model does have electric start, but we'll get into that. Warm-up control, which is your choke, and then a primer, and this is a neutral lockout, so you can rev it without spinning the clutches. You also got a rear bar stand, so you can spin the track. Another kind of warm-up thing. You can see the pipe there. We'll get into that. She is rough, and I found her that way. I actually picked this thing up for 200 bucks. It was down in southwestern New Hampshire. It was actually underneath a semi-trailer on a pallet, and I got it from the original owner's nephew. Now, this thing was laid up because someone had a mishap with a tree and completely screwed up one of the skis. You might have a photo of when I got it. And I ended up going to Livingston's, who has a massive boneyard out back of their shop. You might have seen it in one of my earlier videos when we did a show over there. And I found these moto skis for 40 bucks, I think, 20 bucks a ski. And they are pretty close to what the Johnson ran, and they are ratty just like the rest of the Johnson, and you know what, it works. So this thing, when I did get it, the seat was in good shape, just it's old, you can see it's starting to rip. I do ride this sled, and I ride it a lot, and I just love it. But she needs some tuning up here. I did put on a shorter windshield. I have the original one that goes way up, and they go really high, but I think the shorter one is a little more sporty, and it's just easier to see and everything like that. What else? I really wish I recorded going through this thing. It was full of mouse nests, and you can see she's not the cleanest, but it runs good, and I just don't want to go through it because it runs so good. I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it, you know. You can see in here, all this was full of just mouse nests. Put a new belt on it. You can see a little bit of belt spray. These clutches were a little rough. They still are, and I really should sand them down and try to soften them up a little bit, but battery, I got a battery for it. She does have a new starter solenoid, and that's how you have to start it. The key doesn't work anymore. The starter is tired, but it still spins it over. The original coils. And underneath the seat, can't lift it up too much, but you can turn the light. That's what the original color used to be. Now she's algae green and surface rust. Tank has really cool patina. So you're seeing this exhaust. This is the video. I gotta remember to turn off that light. The exhaust on this thing is pretty much gone, and these things are loud in general. Everybody that has one of these knows they are a loud sled, even when they were brand new. They're just loud. It's an opposed twin, like a boxer motor, and for some reason they're just loud, okay? But this one's ear piercing, makes you get a headache after riding it for 5 minutes loud. And I'll show you. So our plan today is we could find a part sled with a clean exhaust and just throw on a stock exhaust, or going with kind of this ratty style, I think it would be kind of cool to put a cool pipe on it or something. And at least if it's going to still be loud after the pipe's on, at least it looks loud. And I'm not trying to make this thing completely restored and clean. It's not, I don't think it's a worthy candidate for it. I think she earned her patina and her rust, and I think she would just be a cool rider that is just something that you can work on and have fun with. People can ride, your buddies can ride it and enjoy. So let me show you kind of what I had planned here. And in this first part, we need to take the whole motor out because it's a nightmare. The exhaust is all underneath. It's not at the front like most vintage sleds where you can just change the pipe in the muffler or whatever. This one is all built underneath. So I picked this slip-on up on Amazon. It was like 40 bucks. It's just a cheapy pipe. I still am not sure, but I kind of think a pipe off to the side like that might be kind of cool. You know what I mean? Kind of give her a little bit of pizzazz. And if that's the case, we need to do a lot of pipe fabrication and welding, which is stuff I have no idea. I've been practicing my welding, but welding up exhaust is a totally different thing. The original muffler comes out, turn on the light here again. The original muffler comes out right here. So there's a cover here, which this one still has, which I guess is kind of, it's banged up, but I guess they're kind of desirable because a lot of them just fall off. And I can see that a couple screws have popped out. But it's a big pipe that comes out right here, and the muffler is right above it, and then it goes back. You'll see later in the video what I mean. But let's fire her up so you can hear her and hear how loud she is. Well, I just wanted to show you guys, this is all the stuff that came with that sled besides this manual here. Old assembly instructions. Turn off this light. This big pamphlet, the guide to snowmobiling. I know there's a glare, I'm sorry. Cleaning instructions, old New Hampshire registrations. All this was under the seat in a bag. I'm surprised the mice didn't get to it because that thing was mouse covered. All right, back to the overview. So, I haven't started this in, I don't know, a couple months. There was a show we did at Livingston's. I think it's the last time I fired it up, just to get it onto the trailer. The hood is being held on literally by a thread, so I gotta watch out for that and change that out. But yeah, let's pump her up. Let's see what she does. Keys on. I gotta push the solenoid button so the starter to spin, and the starter spins for a second, and then she finally engages. You'll hear it. Well, that's the first time that's happened to me. I guess we're gonna have to pull start her. She always engaged after a second, but I guess she's finally had it. This runs really good. I'll do it one more time for you guys, and then we'll get to work. Doesn't like being waken up from her summer slumber per se, but she's gonna have to have a wake-up call now because she's getting a bunch of stuff done. All right, let's get started. Let's do something. So see, she runs great. So I have gas tank sealer. This gas tank was, I thought it was unsavable. It was so full of rust. You can see it's, if I can get the light working right. See now, it's pretty clean. I cleaned this thing out when I got it, and I had a Vaporus sitting in this thing for, I don't know, 2 weeks. And just flushing and trying to clean out all this. I mean, it was thick. Well, now she has a pinhole somewhere on the side there. And this side's all right, but you can also see too, I mean, it's not really, but it seems like it could be a little bit of moisture there. Turned off that light so you can see how there's kind of a little bit. I don't know if it has a very slow, see the cap, see how it still has a little bit of gook on it. I had to cut these too. These were completely, it's your gas gauge, and then I had to silicone the top. So I'm going to empty this out as well when we're working on this and completely get it cleaned out again, make sure it's good to go. And I picked up POR 15 fuel tank sealer. So we'll dump this guy in there, and hopefully this can last a lot longer. What else? So yeah, the exhaust, the tank, and I might go through the carb one more time with a better rebuild kit now, and maybe, we'll see. It does run really good once it's warmed up. I mean, it doesn't need a whole lot. All right. You can see there, hanging by a thread. So we are going to unplug the light and take these 4 bolts out to get the hood off. It'll just make our life a lot easier and keep me from stressing out about dropping it. We got this new DeWalt ratchet. Love it. All right, we are free. All right, now that's the hood off. Now that the hood is off, we can start taking off the battery. The light I had to fix, and I didn't have another 3-way plug, so I kind of soldered this on. So we're gonna have to just kind of move this guy off to the side, I guess. And our plan is we're pulling the whole engine because we need to get underneath this guy to get to the exhaust. So battery come off, and then spark plugs can come off. For reference, right side coil, well, the front coil goes to the front of the engine, front to front. Okay, and we're gonna have to do fuel lines, and we're gonna have to take the gas tank off for that, and we're also going to have to remove the gear case. Oh boy, chain looks good though. Now you might be thinking, why is these bolts coming out so well? Well, I've actually taken this engine out before, and I did it to try to repair the exhaust because there was a big hole. There was a mouse nest in it, and I think that's what caused the baffles to pretty much be rotted out. But I had a friend weld up the muffler for me because there was a big hole in the muffler because this thing was loud before, really loud, pretty much open header. And yeah, I had to take the whole engine apart to get to that, take it all off, and get that fixed. So I kind of know what I'm doing until we get to welding on a new exhaust. So just stick with me and we'll just slowly but surely get this thing off. Let's pop this seat. And she was a pretty color. So this should be loose now. Yep, it is. Good. And what else? I'll try to get behind there. And if that's the case, I need to take this guy off. Yes, so there's a plate here that's kind of keeping this in its spot. So let me get that out real quick. All right, so we got our return line, we got our main feed line here. So we'll take these guys off and then we can take this whole tank off. We're gonna have to get her drained out. Tank is out. You can see there's a little bit of rust in the corner there. See those particles? So I'm going to try to get that out when we tackle the tank later on, and let's try to seal it up. Now that's off, you can see more of that beautiful green. Take these gas tank bolts, put them back in their spot. See, she still even has the gas tank rubber. A lot of those are missing too. She's complete, guys. She's complete. All right, I just loosened these bolts. You also need to pot this cover. I wish I knew this before, but I didn't know about these things much. The other spark plug access is right down there. Pop that off. Before I was trying to reach through the side here. Oh, what a nightmare. That's good. The sled does like to go through plugs after like 15-20 miles, give or take. She fouls them a little bit. She might be running a little rich, but she runs good nonetheless. So I just always keep extra plugs on me. It's not really the end of the world. We also need to loosen up these guys here down to a 3/8. Never see that again. Try to do this one-handed. Underneath that plate is where the muffler is. Everything on this sled is like a 9/16. All right, guys, I've been letting my camera charge a little bit. It was pretty much dead. We are making a little bit of progress. There's a little pin on the bottom of the steering shaft, and I just pound the pin out, which sits right here, and then that steering shaft just slips out. We got the battery out. Obviously, I think you already saw that. I got this pretty loose by just undoing the brake lever and the throttle cable, so that's good to go. I need to just undo the cable on the engine here. I unplugged the engine. What else have I done? Engine's unplugged, and fuel lines are severed, so those can come out. What else? Yeah, it's just the battery tray that needs to pop out now, as well as the engine bolts themselves and the gear case secondary hoopla over there. Yeah, not too bad. Looks like that'd be a good hook point to lift this engine up, because this thing is heavy. Very heavy. Super heavy. So I might do that. Yeah, this is a pretty rugged piece, so. Alright, let's get that battery tray up. And we can also, you know, I don't think we need to undo the spindles. I think we can leave those right where they are. And just kind of keep those out of the way. Try not to take off everything. We don't need to get everything completely out. Just the engine. Let's keep going. Bolts in the back, nuts in the front. Ooh. The whole battery tray is the stars. Oh, lost that one. The whole battery tray has the solenoid attached to it. Oh yeah. It's all coming back to me now. Might be able just to get that off to the side. With the light. The light must be attached. Oh yeah, it is. Okay. Let me put you guys down. I have no idea where that goes. Must be power to something. Make sure there's not a lot of pressure on those. Okay. Alright, alright, now you can see the cover here. I'm going to need to loosen this guy now. That's already off. Need to loosen this up and these 4 bolts here. I'm guessing it's been a while since I got this off. It was a couple years ago, so bear with me. Usually I'm a Miller Lite guy, but on hot days, Corona Light tastes pretty good. Cheers, by the way. was pretty good. Just want to take a quick beer break and just thank you guys for watching and supporting the channel just by liking the videos and whatnot. I don't ask for money, or I wouldn't say ask, but I don't force subscriptions down your guys' throat. If you guys like this channel, you will subscribe. I don't have to keep reminding. But this hobby's fun, and it's just fun doing the YouTube thing, and I enjoy it. I really do. I enjoy posting content for the few of you that watch. So thank you. I really appreciate it. And yeah, we have a bunch of stuff coming up this year. I can't wait. All right, guys, a little update for you. I unbolted the secondary, took off the chain, and moved that off to the side. Now you can get a good view of, well, start to see the exhaust underneath there. See it right there? So it comes down and looks like a connector right there. So the unfortunate thing is we need to get this plate off, and we need to also keep unbolting this engine and getting it lifted up so we can see what we're working with and what we can do. Be nice if, I gotta remember, if that connects to the muffler itself. It's like a where you, like on a car where you can connect the headers to the actual exhaust, those clamps. That'd be a perfect point where we can cut that off and then weld the pipe on, so when the engine goes down, you can stick the pipe through and clamp it right there. Maybe I don't know what I'm saying. All right, we're gonna keep going. Sorry I'm not videoing me undoing every single bolt. I figure that'd get kind of boring. It's really just a disassembly process. I'm trying to record more of the more entertaining spots, but doing little tiny things isn't really good content. So all right, we're going to get all these little bolts out of this cover, and we got 4, I already took one off. We got 4 engine mount bolts, and theoretically, I think I have a ground too. I gotta take off an engine ground. Theoretically, that should lift up. I think we are ready to lift the engine up. I got pretty much every bolt stuff undone. I got all this off. Pretty much all the bolts are off. So now we're gonna lower this hook. I'm thinking about putting it right through there and lifting this guy up slowly, and I gotta remind myself what's underneath there. Easy. Easy. Okay, what am I snagging on? Looks like the exhaust. Of course. So here's the almighty 437 proposed twin. Underneath is the exhaust. And if you look, yeah, you can see the patch that we did, but more holes are blown through. So unfortunately, she's done. At least you get a good view of what this looks like. Alright guys, I've been looking at this and thinking for a while, and what I'm going to do is get this bracket off as well as the whole exhaust. I'm going to take it off right from the head on each side so I can get a really good look at this whole system, see if I can find more holes. As you can see, there's a couple there. I want to get this drip line. So this goes to the bottom of the crankcase, and this just drips whatever's at the bottom of the crankcase onto the chain to lube it. Very barbaric system, but it works. And yeah, so and then we can really get a good look at it, see where we're at, and start thinking of a game plan on what to do. As you can see, it's like 2 different pipes going in. It's a very elaborate setup. I mean, for some of you guys that work on exhaust, it's probably very simple, but for a guy like me who's never done an exhaust before, this is quite an endeavor. So yeah, we're gonna get those bolts out and go from there. Alright guys, we might be in a little bit of trouble, and I'll show you. So here's the muffler. This I'm not worried about. That's obviously what we're replacing. You can see big holes. You can see where we patched it a couple of years ago. You can see remnants of high heat paint, but clearly that didn't hold up that well. So yeah, this thing is just gone. Rusting at the top. Here's the pipe here's the, I don't know, down pipe, I guess. There's 2 sections. So you got a section here where you can see where we repaired in the past. This was a giant hole, but you could see that wasn't like that. Rust in just a couple of years have started eating away at that. And then here's the other one where you can see a patch that's been done before, then a few more holes there. This is just getting very thin. You could feel it. You could feel it, like, I don't know. I don't know if this is worth saving or if I can find a replacement or something that's a little bit more solid, that's not as rusty as this. I could try to sand it down and just see what happens. I mean, it's not going to hurt it any. But it might be better off just to try to find another downpipe setup, and then we can cut these off right here, and then we can weld our new pipes onto here, allegedly. So that's kind of where we're at. But this muffler's done. She's had it. See, there's more holes there. It's just going to be more. There's a hole there. Yeah. You're just going to keep patching this thing and more holes are just going to form. It's just super, super thin. I don't want to cut myself, but... Alright. Look how big that exhaust hole is. So I'm going to do a little bit of homework here. I'm going to just see what's out there, if there might be a parts thing before I start really trying to clean those up. I might, while I'm waiting, just clean them up anyways and see what we're working with metal. But yeah, it's definitely rough, but we'll figure something out. Something will happen. Well, good afternoon, guys. It is actually the next day, and I have a couple updates. I know I said yesterday I was looking for a replacement. I'm still on the search. There's nothing really local. I've kind of felt around and messaged a few guys that have a few Johnsons that maybe I can buy another chassis or something and rob parts off that. There's a few places out Midwest that might have NOS parts, so I've reached out to them, waiting for a reply. It is Sunday, so I'll probably call them Monday as well and see. And I've also put a few of these parts that I have in Vaporust so I can really see the damage, because rust hides a lot of pinholes and whatnot. So let me show you. I pulled one out and kind of cleaned it up a little bit, and we can see what we're working with and why I want to find a replacement. So here's one of the, what I'm calling down pipes from the header. And this actually is a connecting piece. There's another down pipe that looks like that, goes up to the other one. And I found a few holes. I started grinding and cleaning them up. And as you could see, there is just pinholes and holes everywhere. And that's just what I kind of started cleaning up. You can see little microscopic ones. This is an old weld of when someone repaired one. But as you can see, they're just, you'll be able to see, see all of them in there. It lights right up. Maybe it's worth saving. I don't have, my welder is a Miller. It's like a 251. So it's a pretty powerful welder, and it just will blow holes right through this. Don't mind that. I cleaned up a little section to test the welder on. This is very thin, like you can move it with your hand, and I was just blowing holes right through. Even the cleaner spots where I was just trying to practice, it just goes right through, and I'm on the lowest setting, voltage setting. Anyway, yeah, you can see she's done, honestly. There's, like, this piece is fine. There's nothing really problematic there. No holes or anything, but unfortunately this pipe here is just thin. I mean, it's very thin. And I know if I try to fix this, more will start occurring. So it'd just be better to find a cleaner, cleaner example. And I have a couple more sitting in the Evaporust here. See if I can find something. So I pulled this piece out, just cleaning it up. This is in good shape. I might be able to make this work, welding pipe to that. So just letting it still just take the rest of the little bit of surface off, and then I should, if I push around here, I got this other one here. And this one you could see where there's been weld patches before. That's where we fixed it last time, and this wasn't there before, so you could see how it's deteriorating pretty quickly. This is just so thin, you can move it, and there's really not a lot of good metal to weld to. This is a lot thicker. That's how we managed to get that to work and cleaned up. See all the welds inside there, all the pieces. So yeah, that worked, but it'd just be better to find just a well, not brand new, but at least a clean example. So unfortunately, is at a standstill at the moment. There's a few other things we can get done, but I'd rather do those once we get the engine and like the pipes and everything back, so we can kind of focus on one thing at a time. I could do the gas tank, but I am waiting on POR makes a cleaner and also like a metal prep. I'm waiting for that to come in the mail, so I can't do anything yet for that. So I'd rather just do that after. What else? The engine is pretty clean. I'll bring you guys over. Why go through the whole engine, rebuild the whole thing? I'm not going to do that. You can see a little bit of black here. That's just belt debris because these clutches were pretty rusty, and I just when I was putting this getting this running a long time ago, I just haven't washed it. But these clutches are smoothing themselves out. I'll probably take a little sandpaper to it and clean them, smooth them a little more, but they are pretty smooth to the touch. This thing is really good compression-wise, though. And you can see inside there, that's just a little bit of belt debris, but there's no oil splatter like that over there. So I know that the crank seal, at least on this side's good and in good shape. And if it's only needs what it needs, you know, I'm not gonna go through this whole thing. I pulled this is a compression release valve. I pulled this out, and you can see the threads in there. I don't know if that's a little bit of corrosion there, but I'm gonna just see if I can cap this because I don't use it. And as you can see, this is oil residue. So that's what it would look like on the side here if it was all seals were blown out. I'm gonna see if I can cap this and just seal it up and be done. I don't use the compression release. It just starts right up fine with the primer. And yeah, I want to keep this sled just as ratty and as original as possible. I don't want to start replacing parts, only if it needs it. It's just kind of how this sled is. It's a $200 sled. It's not anything really, in my eyes, restorable. I think she earned all her scars and all her old age and old equipment. So you can find clean ones of these too. They did make a bunch of these, and I think I'd rather find a cleaner example if you want a clean restored one. I like the way this one's set up. So yeah, that's about it right now. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm going to be searching. And if you guys have anything, please email me, and we can get something worked out, and I can get something in, because as soon as I get those parts in, we could start that exhaust, get that done, and then get a couple other little things done, and get this sled back on the trail for this winter because I want to be riding it. All right, I'm gonna quit blabbering. I will see you guys very soon. We got other projects coming up. Thanks for watching.